I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome each and every one of you here today to the Albany County Courthouse as we celebrate 3 very special swearing-in ceremonies here for Albany County. The first thing I'd like to do is make sure everybody turn their cell phones off. The Albany County Courthouse, the first brick was laid in 1915 here. It opened up in 1916, so I hope that each and every one of you take the opportunity to take a tour of the facility. It's an absolutely gorgeous facility, and I know you would enjoy seeing the courtrooms and everything like that. For those of you that don't know who I am, my name is Bruce Hidley, and I am the Albany County Clerk. And I got to tell you, I'm so very honored that Dan, Craig, and Sue has asked me here today to be the Master of Ceremonies for this very, very special occasion. I'd like to welcome all the family and friends of Dan, Craig, and Sue who are here today. I want to thank all the hardworking, dedicated county department heads, county employees that are here today. I welcome all of our brothers and sisters in labor who are here today. And I especially welcome our county chairman, our city, town, and village chairs who are with us today. Thank you all for coming. Now, I'm going to ask everyone to please rise and remain standing as Father Sean O'Brien will deliver the divine blessing of the invocation, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led by the Honorable Gerald D. Jennings, retired Mayor of the City of Albany. Father?
Let us pray. Good and gracious God, as we gather at this very special time of all things that are new, with hearts that are filled with a sense of humility and gratitude, we pray for our leaders, County Executive Dan McCoy, our Sheriff Craig Apple, County Comptroller Susan Rizzo. We pray, Lord, that your Spirit may continue to guide them with the gifts of wisdom, understanding, and right judgment, as they undertake the important duties and responsibilities assigned to them for maintaining the goodness and safety of our community. May they always seek to do what is good and right and just for the people in their care. May they always uphold the virtues of courage, honesty, and integrity in the best of times and in the darkest of times. And may your spirit of love continue to fill their hearts so that your kingdom may come and your will may be done. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, Father.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. Thank you, Father, for an absolutely wonderful invocation, and thank you to Mayor Jennings for leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance today. Thank you very much. At this time, I'd like to take the opportunity to introduce a man that really needs no introduction in Albany County or anywhere in the counties that he represents. He does a dynamic job for us in Washington, D.C. He's a leader. He's an inspirational person. He's a person that we're so happy to have us lead us in the House of Representatives in this area, the Honorable Paul Tonko, Congressman.
Thank you, Bruce. Thank you, Bruce. Thank you, Bruce, and good afternoon, everyone. I hope the Christmas celebrations and Hanukkah celebrations have been outstanding, and I wish everyone happy holidays and a successful and safe and prosperous new year. It is an honor to join here with everyone, with the families and friends and co-workers, with labor support that have been there for these 3 individuals who now will take their oath of office. I want to congratulate Dan and Craig and Sue for the outstanding campaigns they ran and for the trust that has been placed in them by the people of Albany County. I wish them well as they go forward to pursue the duties of county exec, of comptroller, and of sheriff. obviously the safety of the people of this community, the programs and policies advanced by the Albany County government, and the transparency and accountability guaranteed by Sue that will be serving as comptroller are all very critically important to the people of Albany County. They have, as individuals, been great sounding boards. They have offered me advice. They have taken the pulse of the people and constantly communicate the needs of this great county. They will continue to do so, that I am certain. And as they go forward, they will provide for the leadership that will enable us to make certain that quality services that address the dignity and quality of life of the people of Albany County will be guaranteed. These are tough times at all levels of government, and so it will be important to communicate and constantly dialogue with these leaders so that we connect in a way that is most meaningful to the people of the community. So congratulations to them all, and now let's move forward with the proceedings of this afternoon as we all take great pride in witnessing their taking oath of office. Congratulations to all of them, and to all a very happy new year.
Thank you, Congressman. At this time, I'd like to take an opportunity to thank all of our retired elected officials that are here today. There's too many of you to actually introduce. And also to all of our current elected officials, we want to thank you for being here today. It is an honor that you have taken time out of all of your busy schedules to be with us for this very prestigious swearing-in ceremonies that we're about to undertake. So, how does a leader inspire a nation or a group of people? The leaders we will swear in today are the people who inspire others, who lead by example and motivate people to be better and move forward no matter how hard the challenges might be. No matter whether they are leading our country, no matter if they're leading our state, no matter if they're leading our counties, and no matter whether or not they are leading our municipalities, whether they're leading a business, a household, or a team. Those that will be swearing in today, Daniel P. McCoy, Craig D. Apple Sr., and Susan Rizzo, they truly have all those leadership qualities and abilities that I just spoke of. We are proud of all the work that they have done for us in Albany County and all the work they will continue to do for us the next 4 years in Albany County. So now, let's get on with the swearing-in ceremonies. I now ask Dan P. McCoy and his family to come down, and it is my honor to turn the program over to someone who is absolutely no stranger to Albany County. He worked as the Deputy County Executive for 6 years. It's my honor, privilege, and pleasure to present to you Phil Calderone, who will do the swearing-in ceremony. Phil?
Thank you, Mark. Thank you. Franklin Roosevelt, in his first inaugural address, referred to public service as a gift, the gift of a public trust. And fundamentally, that's what an oath of office is all about. It's an acknowledgement and a commitment to that public trust. Dan McCoy's entire life has been spent in fulfilling that commitment as a firefighter, as a county legislator, and as county executive. Public service, the opportunity to improve the lives of individuals and the lives of a community, it's in his DNA. It has motivated him to take on the great generational challenges of our time. Challenges like confronting and promoting so many of the most critical issues that face our nation. Expanding equity and economic opportunity, promoting social and racial justice, and confronting climate change and environmental inequality, combating the opioid crisis and an industry indifferent to addiction, pain, suffering, and death. His leadership on these issues has transcended local politics. In fact, his policies have affected state and national policies as well. His leadership on these issues has resulted in his being recognized in so many ways that have brought honor and distinction to this county. He simultaneously holds the position of being president of the executive committee of the New York State Association of Counties and president of County Executives of America, the only county executive in the history of this nation who has held both positions at the same time. He was also the first and only county executive to receive the distinction of being named a Hunt Keen Fellow, serving alongside of governors, congressional leaders, and cabinet officials committed to designing a new paradigm for the improvement of the lives of the children of our nation. It has been my distinct honor and privilege over the past 6 years to have served in his administration as his deputy, and now it's my great honor to swear him in for another 4 years of what I know will be extraordinary service to this county. County Executive McCoy.
What we want to try to do is get you in your feet facing this direction here. So that, so what do you want to do? What do you want over here?
Would you raise your right hand and repeat after me? I, Daniel P. McCoy, do solemnly swear
I, Daniel P. McCoy, solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of County Executive of the County of Albany,
the duties of the office of County Executive of Albany County,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Now, Dan, if I could get you to sign the oath of office book for me, please. It's going to, yep, right there. Congratulations, old buddy. So before we bring the county executive up to say a few words, there's a couple special people that are here for County Executive McCoy today, and I'd like to acknowledge them. Major General Shields and Command Sergeant Major Wilsey, retired, are here today for this special occasion for Dan, so welcome. County Executive McCoy, you're on.
Thank you. I don't know what else to say. Phil, you said it all, and it's been a great 6 years. Not only did I gain a deputy county executive, I gained another brother. Mind you, I don't need him. I got enough brothers. But I do appreciate the fact you joined the family, Phil. It's a great honor, and I'm going to stay to my speech because I got warned by my wife this morning, no jokes, keep it straight. I like my jokes, by the way, but I'm just saying. It makes me laugh. But I do want to thank everyone for coming out today. It does mean a lot. It takes a partnership to make things happen. It takes a partnership to work together. But I especially want to thank my family for everything, for being my backbone, for being my support, for always being there, because it's easy when you go out 7 days a week and they're carrying the weight at the house. And unfortunately, sometimes when you get a little frustrated, you come home and you kind of take it out on your family, or you just explode over the stupidest thing. And I want to say to them, thank you for the understanding, and thank you for being there for me every step of the way, because without you, Alyssa and Tig and Taryn and Egan, it wouldn't be possible. And to my future son-in-law, who's home sick supposedly, who is not here too. Maybe that wedding won't happen now, but I'm just saying. But thank you. And especially thank you to my mother and to my brothers and my sisters, to my father-in-law and to my mother-in-law. Thank you for all your support over the years and guidance and people to look up to. So thank you. And I will say this. Let me begin by thanking all those who helped me today make it possible. Those who supported my re-election, those who have worked with me over the years, over the past 8 years, advancing our common goal to improve the lives of the residents of our county. I especially want to thank my fellow elected officials, Sheriff Apple, for all your support and partnerships over the last 8 years, and arguments and throwing me in during the re-election last year with my wife. So I want to thank you especially, but our soon-to-be elected Controller Sue Rizzo, and our DA David Soares, and Chairman Andrew Joyce, Majority Leader Dennis Feeney, and the members of the county legislature, especially you, Wanda. I see you over there. Don't jump. I'll be here to save you. To all our local elected officials and state leaders, particularly Governor Cuomo, Controller DiNapoli, Attorney General James, and our state legislative delegations, Assemblyman John McDonald, thank you for being here. Pat Fahey's probably at the buffet. I want to thank, as well as our two U.S. senators, Senator Majority Leader Schumer and Senator Gillibrand, and especially our Congressman Paul Tonko that does a great job for us in D.C. Paul, thank you. All of you have been such supportive and strategic partners in so many ways of this critical, important initiative that has moved this county forward. Thank you for that support. I also want to thank my staff for their hard work, for their dedication to those initiatives. And of course, I want to thank my family for everything again. But most of all, I want to thank the people of this county who put their trust in my leadership and my promise to make them that working together, we could transform county government to make it more open, more responsive to all the residents, particularly those most unfortunately. John F. Kennedy once said, as we express our gratitude, we must never forget the highest form of appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. So from day one as county executive, I made Albany County Cares not just a brand for our administration, but a mission statement, when it has defined our policies, our initiatives, our efforts, to stabilize finances, to expand programs for seniors, veterans, youth, the renovations of a civic center, expanding our rail trail, to rebuild our nursing home, to push for reforms in the criminal justice system, to fight the pharmaceutical industry, to stem the nightmare of this opiate addiction, to expand services for those struggling with mental health issues, disabilities, and poverty, to promote the efforts to promote our environment and to make Albany County the greenest county in New York State, to fight big oil, to promote environmental justice, to enhance Albany County's profile as a place to be for new industries, new jobs, and new development, to make Albany County the best possible place to work, to live, and to raise a family. Over the past 8 years, we have not forgotten the highest form of service is not to utter words, but to live by them. President Obama once said that we soar when we look out for one another and we take care of each other, when we root for another success, when we strive to do better and to do better than the generation that came before us and try to build something better for generations to come. That's why we do what we do. That's the point of public service. That's why I entered public service. That's why I've worked to accomplish as county executive, and that's why I promise to continue doing over the next 4 years to build something better for the generations to come. At a time when our nation is so polarized, so divided, and so fractured, it's my hope that Albany County will stand as a model for what is possible when people of goodwill come together to put their mission of caring for one another ahead of politics or power, our bipartisan agenda. I believe that over the next 8 years, we've shown what can be achieved by working together for the betterment of our residents. With your help and support, I will do everything possible over the coming 4 years to continue the effort. May God bless all you during this holiday season and throughout the new year. And may He always bless our great Albany County and our great nation. Thank you, everyone, for coming.
Now you know why he is the greatest county executive the state of New York has, just by listening to that speech alone. After 25 years, the Albany County Comptroller's Office will have a new Albany County Comptroller. And we are so excited. So excited. I can tell you right now that for the past year or more, this woman probably had to buy 15,000 new pairs of shoes for all the traveling she did throughout our great county. And I got to tell you, she has certainly hit the ground running, and I can tell you firsthand of that. And I'm so very, very happy that she is our elected county controller. But I'm going to introduce someone that is a very close confidant and friend of hers. And if I say his name wrong, I'm going to apologize in front of everybody and him right now. He is the Honorable Owusu Anane. He is the Common Council representative from the 10th Ward in the city of Albany, better known to all of us as the Chief.
Wow, I feel really tall up here. Good afternoon. Like was mentioned, my name is Owusu Anani. I'm the Albany councilman from the Pine Hills neighborhood. I'm also a great friend of Susan Rizzo. You know, when I first met Sue, it was just after the city elections. We might not have been on the same slate during the primary, but both of us came into City Hall as newly electeds. One could say that we hit it off right away, or because we're the same height, so it was easy for us to see eye to eye. But on a serious note, it gives me great pleasure to introduce you. Chief Auditor Susan Rizzo, an Albany native with over 30 years of financial and investment experience in the private sector, went straight to work for the people of Albany. Chief Rizzo ran on being as a result-oriented person, and results she delivered. During her time in office, she successfully completed 8 audits that totaled and recovered the city of Albany $1.2 million. She also did more audits in her first 2 years than the previous auditor did in 8 years. As a councilman, when it came to financial matters, City Auditor Rizzo was one of the few people I could count on to give solid advice. Keeping all of this in mind, it was easy for me to support Sue when she decided to run for Albany County Comptroller. Susan, with your record of accomplishment, it was no surprise that Albany County elected you. On a personal note, a couple of months ago, I was invited to speak at a local elementary school. And as I was talking about the role of a councilman, I could see this boy whisper to his friend, "If he's a councilman, I could be the mayor because I'm taller than him." I tell you this because representation matters, and diversity in government matters, specifically gender diversity. For all the young girls out there and young women out there, look up to Sue Rizzo. Let her be your mentor. She is bold, she's fierce, she's independent, she speaks her mind. And I'll tell you, she's going to be a great comptroller for Albany County. Sue, I'm proud of you, and I know that your best days are ahead of you. And if all of you are proud of her as much as I am, you haven't seen nothing yet.
Thank you so much. There's a few words that I would like to say about Sue before I swear her in. I'd like everyone to know how honored I am to be in this position today. From day one, she has shown me she's exactly what I look for in a friend. She showed me kindness. She showed me compassion. She says what she means, and she means what she says. We've earned each other's trust throughout this campaign, so I knew that I could vent with her, whether it was over coffee or a cocktail. when I was in a political world that I didn't understand. I'm honored to have her as a friend, and I'm honored to swear her in today. Have your left hand on the Bible and raise your right hand. I, Susan Rizzo,
I, Susan Rizzo,
do solemnly promise and swear
do solemnly promise and swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of Albany County Comptroller
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the Albany County Comptroller
according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Congratulations.
You gotta come down a little bit.
Yeah, I see that.
Gotta see that, huh? Can't see. All right.
Put your glasses on.
Put my glasses on so I can see. Oh, look at that.
And now I present to you Albany County Comptroller Susan Rizzo.
Thank you, Bruce. Wow, this journey feels very surreal. I would just like to take a moment to absorb this. What an impressive crowd. A heartfelt thank you for each of you for coming out today and supporting me. Thank you, Father Sean, for the prayer, Owusu for his lively introduction, and Judge Andra Ackerman for swearing me in. I would like to thank my family, Louis Rizzo, who held my parents' 1954 wedding Bible, and his wife, Betsy Russlander. I know Louis is proud of me, as well as my sister Helen, who is also my campaign treasurer and fourth runner-up for gathering the most petition signatures with her very patient Uber driver and fiancé, Phil Toronto. Thank you, Sally Ann, my niece, for attending all my fundraisers, to help her mom, Helen, to keep a good set of books. And thank you to Deb and my nephew Bobby, a union pipe fitter, that made it to this inauguration from the hilltops of Albany County. My sister Mary Ann, who flew in from Annapolis, and my cousin Paul, who drove in from Connecticut to support me just before the primary. I would also like to thank my boyfriend, Roger Fusilli, for his support. Like I said before, my friends and family gave with their hearts more than I could ever ask. My dad, Louis Rizzo, and my mom, Marion, will be very proud of me today, and I miss them every day. Uncle Joe Manupel, a former Rensselaer County legislator, would also have been very proud of this moment. My most successful fundraisers and events were because of Dina's Cookies, Rosanna, Joanne Spadaro, and Josie helping at the tables collecting money. But I can't forget Roger Martell, who is always there to make sure I do well, and also throws a heck of a fundraiser. It was just a year ago today that I decided to run for Albany County Comptroller. I knew it was going to be a difficult election to win. In order to win, I needed to get the unions to support me and find people to help with this endeavor. I come from a hard-working union family. The very heartbeat of Albany County are the working families, families like the one I was brought up in, that without a doubt helped mold me in what I am today. My dad was a welder, as well as my brother, Louis, were members of the operating engineers, Local 158. They worked closely with the laborers, Local 190. A special thank you to the president, Anthony Frasina, and his father, former President Sam Frasina, for your support and encouragement. My dad, my nephew, Bobby Kipper, and Chris O'Connor are all members of the Plumbers and Stevefitters, Local 7. The point is, I respect the unions, and I believe the prevailing wage, and I believe in hardworking families making their way into today's world. Unions continue to do the driving force that help build and sustain the middle class here in the United States. Once the word got out that I needed union support, they were at my door. Sammy, Sam, Anthony Frasina, Dan McGraw, Frank Natali with the Building and Trades, Patsy Torino, the Painters Union, Michael Shanahan, Kevin Hicks with the Carpenters Union, Rob Mengel, and Ed Veerhoff with the Firefighters Union. My brother jokingly tells the story. I needed money to fund my campaign, and I still have my first bank book from kindergarten. I deposited 50 cents in 1962, and I've been saving ever since. It adds up. I'm trusting that will translate well in my new responsibilities. In February, when petitions were needed to be signed, I hit the pavement along with over 20 volunteers that reached out to me to help. I didn't even know a lot of these people, but the voters needed a change, and they appreciated the vision I had for this county. Support and encouragement came as far back as people from grammar school, like Dougie Hebert, who looks mighty fine today, Mitchell Lee, Rosanna Camellia, Joanne Jones from 2nd Avenue, my confidant, and Cardinal McCluskey high school friends like Arlene Russo and Anne-Marie Shea Calabrese. People from the neighborhood like Scotty Manarino, my #1 gatherer of petition signature, and his mom. Thank you, Scotty and Marguerite Allardyce. Even Frank Camiso and my family had a long history in Albany. Frank and my parents lived on the top floor of my grandparents' house on Madison Avenue. Bobby Frezzi, also a longtime family friend. I'd like to thank Bobby Huffman with Laborers, Local 190, who called one day and told me he was my sign guy. I didn't even know Bobby at the time. I ordered 1,500 signs, and Bobby and his wife Roxanne put them out along with Mike Varno, Scotty, and Kevin Phillips, may he rest in peace. But it was Bobby who called me the next day and said, "Do you have any more signs?" Not knowing any better, I ordered another 500. People say signs don't vote, but if you put out 2,000, they surely were noticeable. My great-nephew, Colin, who is only 4 years old, would say, "Hey, there's another Susan Rizzo sign." Name recognition at only 4. Gotta love it. My great-niece, Carly, and great-nephew, CJ, were actors in my video and helped me put together hundreds of little gift bags to give out to the parades. My good friend and Albany Councilman Owusu Anani introduced me to the very hard-working Anton Konev. Thank you, Anton, for being my field guy, my social media guy, and my stand-in campaign manager. Funny story, Anton said to my sister that I was the best candidate that he ever worked with. Startled by the remark, my sister said, "Really?" Anton then said, "Well, I didn't say she was the easiest." Anton managed my Facebook and was very proud of getting 2,500 followers. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Anton. Anton told me where to go, and I did. He told me to go to 3 events a night and still walk door to door. I did. I was planting trees in Washington Park, doing neighborhood cleanups, and then onto a fundraiser before I continued to knock on doors. I keep a change of clothes in the car because I always have to look fashionable. People wondered how I accomplished the difficult task of campaigning. It was all about planning and hard work. I promised to bring the same hard work ethic and planning to the Comptroller's office. I am extremely grateful for all the people at Albany who supported me and provided me with the opportunity to serve, first the people of the city of Albany, and now the people of Albany County. I am humbled. I will work my hardest to give back as much as I can to the county that has given me so much. I promise to make you proud. It must run in my genes. Women in my family were ahead of their time, and they were trailblazers. I asked Ramon in the county clerk's office to help me look up the deeds from my grandparents on Madison Avenue and my parents who bought their house on Whitehall Road, only to find out that in 1922, my grandmother, Assunta Rizzo, signed with an X on the deed. Back in the day, only men would sign deeds, and their spouses were only referred to as wife. In my family, it was the women. My mom also came home one day and said, "Honey, I went shopping." "What did you buy?" he asked. "I bought a house." My dad was working, my mom was the investor. I feel especially blessed. The 100th year anniversary of the 19th Amendment, women's suffrage, and to the first women Albany County Comptroller in 2020. We are making history together. With the upbringing I had in the city of Albany, many of you know my family, the Rizzo family. We all have family values, integrity, and are honest, upstanding citizens. We all know how to save a dollar and not to live outside our means. These are the qualities I will bring to my new role as Albany County Comptroller. I will focus on the county's finances as well as audits. I believe in transparency and independence. I already met with the district attorney, David Soares, Sheriff Apple, the county exec, Dan McCoy, the county clerk, Bruce Hidley, and others. I believe in establishing trust with the people you work with. We must support each other. Although we may have difficult roles, we should be partners with the same objective and a similar vision: to protect the taxpayers of Albany County. I had a conversation with the sheriff, and he responded with, "Hey, I'm just the guy that carries the gun." I said, "Great, but I'm the one that carries the checkbook. You may be the one that carries the gun, but the controller approves the bullets." Like I said, it's better that we all work together. Coming from the private sector, it was a standard operating procedure. If you have a problem, you better come up with a solution. And I am working on a lot of solutions. I am out-of-the-box thinker, and I will bring solutions to the table, day one. I believe in hiring qualified individuals and maintaining the team's institutional knowledge at the office, and I will continue to support that approach. I have assembled a transition team of 5 highly qualified, diverse individuals with backgrounds in auditing, finance, accounting, and government service, and I've conducted introductory interviews with the staff of the Comptroller's Office, so I will hit the ground running. I believe I can optimize the county's investments to earn the county significantly more interest income. I'm already planning with Charles Petroselli, Watervliet Mayor-elect, to work on shared services with the City of Watervliet as a pilot program, and I plan to bring this approach to other similar municipalities as well. Mayor Ellen McNulty Ryan continued to say, "No matter what, keep your head high." I think I might be 6 foot tall by now. Last but not least, thank you, Joyce Love, for your support and for saying, "You got this." With all the help from the people of Albany County who trusted in me, who voted for me, I thank you. May God bless and Happy New Year.
Look forward to it. And last, but certainly not least, this is a gentleman that doesn't need any introduction in Albany County or in the state of New York, for that matter. We will have the honor of the Honorable Margaret T. Walsh, Justice of the New York State Supreme Court, who will administer the oath of office to Sheriff Apple. Sheriff Apple, you know, they say you never stop learning no matter how old you are, and yesterday was no different. We were at the swearing-in ceremonies, and I found out that after 33 years of service to Albany County, Sheriff Apple was never an inspector. He just passed over that and went to bigger and better things. But you know what? Those bigger and better things are exactly what we have in him as our Albany County Sheriff. He has taken the Albany County Sheriff's Department to a level that has never been seen in the history of New York State. He has led this department. He has led the civil division. He has led the patrol division. He has led the correctional officers division. He has led this whole department into a whole new era. And we're very proud of that. And I could go on and on and on at accreditations that he has done and the work that he has done for the residents of Albany County and beyond. And I got to be honest with you, all near and dear to us was just what happened last week with baby Eli. And the county coroner, Tim Cavanaugh, and our county sheriff, Craig Apple, stepped up to the plate and made sure that this young baby was laid to rest in peace in a peaceful manner. That's the kind of guy you have in Sheriff Apple. Kind, considerate, compassionate, and someone who cares about everybody in Albany County, cares about them. So without any further ado, I'd like to bring Sheriff Apple down and his beautiful wife, Cheryl, Judge Walsh, and Craig's family.
Right hand. Repeat after me. I, Craig D. Apple Sr.,
I, Craig D. Apple Sr.,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States
that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of
the duties of the office of
the Sheriff of Albany County
the Sheriff of Albany County
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
And now it's an honor, privilege, and pleasure to present to all of you here today Sheriff Craig D. Apple Sr. for his third term as our Albany County Sheriff.
Dan and Sue pretty much consumed all the time, so thanks for coming. I'm just kidding. So good afternoon. First of all, I'd like to thank you, the voters, for this opportunity. I'm one of few people that can say I'm living my dream every single day. I get to live my dream. I always dreamed of being a sheriff, never thought I'd rise to this rank, and when I did, I was like overwhelmed, but I'm truly living my dream every day. I'd like to thank my wife Cheryl and our lovely family, many of which have followed in my footsteps. You know, public safety adds a lot of stress to your life. I'm sure you see Kim McCoy down there. I'm sure a few of you know it. I see our DA over there, David Soares. There's a lot of things that go on that, you know, you seem to take home with you. And then if you introduce Albany County politics, you probably should be in a psych ward because things that go on in this county is like no other, but so they put up with a lot. I've missed a lot of family functions, missed a lot of anniversaries and Christmases and so on and birthdays, and so I thank you all and I love you all. I'd like to thank my fellow electeds, especially Sue Rizzo, first woman county comptroller. Congratulations. Dan McCoy, who's been my running mate the last couple of times, and we've had a lot of fun and a lot of fights. We fight, I think, worse than him and Brian ever thought of fighting. But, you know, at the end of the day, we can go grab a beer and have a cigar and work it out, and it all works out for the residents and the constituents of Albany County. So I thank you guys. I appreciate the partnership and the friendship. Big thank you to my Supreme Court Judge, Peg Walsh. Where'd she go? She bailed out on me already. That's it. I hope I can't thank her enough. This is the third time that she's sworn me in, and I can assure you won't be the last time she's swearing me in. I'd also like to thank organized labor. Labor's been a big supporter of mine over the years, and I'm truly appreciative. When I first got into this mess, I don't know how many of you were present at the vote that the county committee took, and you know, organized labor, especially the laborers union, were out front with Apple for Sheriff t-shirts, and anybody that wanted to come in that didn't want one pretty much was told to leave. So I certainly appreciate organized labor. I'd also be remiss if I didn't thank my command staff, many of which are encompassing me down here below and up on the rails up here. These are the men and women in the trenches every day that are making good things happen in this county, and I'm going to... I'm going to mention a few things in a few minutes, but trust me, I may not be the easiest fella to work for, and these guys put up with a lot, and I truly am appreciative of your dedication to the county and your loyalty to the department and myself. And we got some great things ahead of us as well. Thank you, Congressman. It's always a pleasure to see you. I know you've got to hit like probably 500 swearing-ins, and I see Assemblywoman Fahey over there, our favorite DA, David Soares, who runs in 2020. Just a little plug for you, 2020. And I heard Jack Flynn's out there somewhere. Thank you, Jack, for all your support. It's always a pleasure. And to our county clerk, Bruce Hidley, who works tirelessly. Trust me, he gets thrown into these things. I don't think he asked to be the MC. He was just like, okay, well, you got the MC job, and you got this. And he always does a great job for the residents of this county, so thank you. Folks, we've been busy the last few years, and if you'd indulge me, I'd like to talk about a few of our accomplishments. We've changed our philosophy from a protecting and serving to a serving and protecting community. We were on the forefront of the heroin epidemic long before most. We created the Mobile Education Center, thanks to CDTA donating a bus. We created a SHARP program for those afflicted with addiction. We were then the first outside New York City to have medically assisted treatment, which our recidivism rate is, I don't even believe it myself, and it was told to me again, that's 3%. And anybody that knows or has dealt with a world of addiction, 3% is just an astronomically low number. So we're saving lives at that jail. We've run countless Narcan trainings, even trained inmates, so when they're released, they can save a life or maybe someone else's. We've had successful veterans program at the jail with a partnership with Soldier On. We're down to 2 veterans in our jail, and our hope is to have 0 soon. 2 veterans. We've put 426 veterans through this program. We created a program to have area physicians respond to serious incidents to limit the time of patient sees to see a trauma doc. This year, they've responded to over 100 of them. We work with Senator Amador in Breslin to create Kennett's Law to protect one of our most vulnerable populations. This year, before Senator Amador leaves the Senate, we're hoping to make it stronger so we don't have to beg for records to save our children. Our Persons in Need Registry is a database of those who need extra help. Whether it's home dialysis machine or oxygen, we check on them when the power's out or a storm hits. This program has over 1,000 Albany County residents on it. We started Project Lifesaver 8 years ago for those who have a propensity to wander, specifically autism, dementia, Alzheimer's. To date, we have one of the largest programs in the state, all paid for with asset forfeiture donations, and over 100 people on the program. We completed a countywide radio upgrade for all EMS, fire, and police. We then added county highway trucks, foreman vehicles. We put radios in school buses and school buildings, then went one step further and rolled out panic alarms for our schools. That linked directly to our 911 in case of an active shooter or other emergency. We now have school resource officers protecting 3 districts at all levels of education. We created a countywide ambulance service that now handles on an average of 6,000 calls annually. This is expected only to increase in the months and years ahead due to declining volunteerism. We utilize the Affordable Health Care Act to save Albany County taxpayers hundreds of thousands of dollars annually. It's expected only to increase. Whether you believe in it or not, it's still saving taxpayer money, although it is spread out. It's still taxpayer money, but it's spread out nationally. In March, we will graduate our very first law enforcement class from the Sheriff's Public Safety Institute, which was created this past fall. We started Steps to Adoption Readiness, which brings dogs in from shelters, and inmates train them and return them to the shelter where hopefully they're adopted. We've trained over 102 dogs, many of which have been adopted by sheriff's staff. Our active shooter training program has trained over 18,000 people in civilian response to active shooter. Our RAD training has trained over 1,000 women in rape, aggression, defense. As soon as the frost exits, we'll begin putting shovels in the ground to build a state-of-the-art 911 center along with a new county emergency operations unit up on the nursing ground, which will be the first nursing home, I believe, in the country. I'd have to verify that with our county executive, that will have law enforcement contingent attached to it. As far as our fire coordinator's office, we've enhanced fire training in the county every year. This year, 20,000 student hours have gone out. We have a new search and rescue truck on the way thanks to Assemblyman John McDonald. We have a new 53-foot mobile fire trailer coming in 2020 that will be built by in-house staff. Additionally, we worked hard to function at a high level of efficiency and continue to cut expenditures. And this year, we rolled back close to $9 million out of our budget. These are just a few of the programs that we are doing in our department, changing lives for the better. And most correctional facilities hover around 45% for recidivism rate. Albany County, 40%. Last few years ago, we had 800 to 900 inmates in it. This year, our population yesterday was 414. Things are changing, and they're changing in the right direction. So we created programs from the day you enter jail, while you stay in jail, and now we have a new program to help our homeless, many of which are coming from jail. We have created 100 rooms, 50 online and 50 soon. Many inmates get released, they have nowhere to go, so they reoffend and they end up back in jail at a cost of $66,000 annually per the Governor Como. We have created first of its kind Sheriff's Homeless Improvement Program, also known as SHIP. That's with a P. Some people misinterpret that, it's with a P. So once again, Dan, Sue, congratulations. Dan, it's been a privilege to be your partner the last 8 years. We've had some incredible accomplishments. So in closing, my dad always said, leave a place better than when you found it. And I can promise you, Dad, I am.